Hello guys, today we are going to look at the properties of perfect square numbers. Now what is a perfect square number? So the perfect square numbers are 1, 4, 9, 16 and the other numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7 they are not. These are perfect square, these are not. Perfect square numbers are numbers whose square root is an integer. So square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, square root of 9 is 3, of 16 is 4. So these are all perfect square numbers. Now square root of 2 is 1.414 something. So they are all in decimal. They are irrational numbers. The square root of them. So these are the perfect square numbers. Now let's look at the properties. First one, if you take an even number and square it, you will always get an even number. And if you take an odd number and square it, you will always get an odd number. Example, we can take 4 square 16, which is also even. Odd 9 square 81. Now why does it happen? Because of the law of multiplication. When we multiply two numbers, let's say even multiplied by even, we always get an even number. And same with odd. Odd multiplied by odd is odd. So obviously when we are squaring, we are multiplying by itself. So this is even into even, this is odd into odd. That's why we get even for this case and odd for this case. Next, number ending with odd number of zeros is not a perfect square. Now let's look at 1000. This cannot be a perfect square because it has odd number of zeros, or maybe 250 or 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, odd number of zeros. So these cannot be perfect squares. We don't need to check. If they are even number of zeros, let's say 100, they can or cannot be perfect squares. We are not sure. So this is a perfect square, which is square of 10. But if you say something like 200, this is not, even though it has even number of zeros. So we are sure if there's odd number of zeros, then definitely they are not perfect squares. But for even number, we cannot tell. Next we have perfect squares always end with 1, 4, 9, 6, 5, 0. Now pause for a minute and think why is this the case? So the answer is okay, so let's take digits 0 to 9. 0 square is 0, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, 4 square 16, 5 square 25, 6 square 36, 7 square 49, 8 square 64, 9 square 81, 10 square 100. Now let's look at the last digits of all. So here 0, 1, 4, 9, 6, 5, 6, 9, 4, 1, 0. So all of this are in this. They are either 1, 4, 9, 6, 5 or 0. Now this is only for, you might ask, this is only for one digit numbers. What about all the other numbers? Well, if you see, take any number. How many ever digits? Let's say 236. If we find the square of it, we have to multiply it by itself, 236. Now when you multiply, the answer will always have the last digit of the multiplication of the last digits. So what I mean by this, I'll show it here. So 236 into 236, 6 6 are 36, 6 3 are 18, 21, 6 2 are 12, 14, 0, 3 6 are 18, 3 3 are 9, 10, 3 2 are 6, 7, 0 0, 12, 7, 2 2 are 4. Now if we add 6, 9, 6, 5, 5. So last number is 6, which is also the last digit of, just by multiplying the last digits. 6 6 are 36. So 6 is the last number. Now why is this always true? Why? Because when we multiply, we'll always add zeros in the second row onwards. So the first row ka last digit only matters as the last digit of the final answer. That's why take any other number. The last digits will either be 0 to 9 and the squares of them are among them. Now, fourth one. Perfect squares can never end with 2, 3, 7, 8. Same logic. Because 0 to 9, the squares end with these numbers. So these cannot be possible. Last one. A perfect square leaves remainder of 1 or 0 when divided by 3. So let's divide 144 by 3. We get 3 4s are 12, 24. 3 4s are 12 minus 24, 3 8s are 24. So remainder is 0. Let's take 64. 64 divided by 3. 3 2s are 6 minus 4. 3 1s are 3. Now here are the 0. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.